Hello, I own the F650GS. That's the 800 twin, a slightly newer model, and I tend to ride a little bit more off-road than they probably were intended for. And one of the downsides of that is they came with the cast rims. But there is a solution, because these cast rims do damage easily when you hit potholes or do some more aggressive off-road riding. Fortunately, the hubs at the front, the hub from the F650GS, the old single, is a perfect fit. So you pick up a second-hand wheel from an F650GS single, and if 19-inch rim is what you want, you can just bolt it straight on. I wanted to go for a 21-inch rim. These could be found on the Dakar or the G650 Sertao, but I simply got a 19-inch rim and got some custom spokes done and laced in an aftermarket 21-inch 1.6-inch rim. If you do go for a 21-inch option, however, there is a slight modification you need to make, and that is a custom fork brace. And this one here I've made up from some 5mm steel, big hammer, big vise, blow lamp, and I've shaped it up into that curve you can see there to get the clearance. Also, with the front guard, I've got between the mounting points here and the guard itself, I put in a couple of washers. This has the effect of squeezing the guard slightly, which causes it to just flex away from the tyre a little bit. And that just gives you that little bit extra clearance. So it's not hard to do. So that's at the front. The rear is a similar story. At the rear end on this bike is pretty much identical to the F850GS. So you pick up an F850GS hub or whole rear wheel, and you can put it straight in. I wanted a skinnier rim, so I've actually gone from the standard 4.25 17-inch rim that comes on the F850GS, and I put a 2.5-inch wide 18-inch XL rim. This did require a little bit of respoking, and at the rear it's a little bit more difficult because the XL rim will need to be custom drilled. The rears on the F850GS have the spoking pattern in what they colloquially refer to as European pattern. Off the shelf you'll buy a drilled rim that's got the so-called Japanese pattern. At the front it's a Japanese pattern, so it's not a problem. So the sprocket carrier, exactly the same item from the F850GS to the F650GS. It all just bolts straight in. So all you need to do is get a little bit of custom spoke work done, and that's not too expensive if you've got a spoke guy in your area. So the end result is it rides a lot better off-road with the larger 21-inch wheel on the front and the slightly larger wheel at the back. The cost was about $450 for the front. I laced that one up myself, and about $950 for the rear. The rear wheels are a little hard to find and cost a bit more, but all up well worth doing.